What's good? Welcome to a brand new video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about a few rumors as well as news and hints for Diamond and Pearl remakes. So we're going to go through all that in the start of the video, and then the second half of the video we're going to break it all down and talk about it individually. So first things first, we're going to talk about the rumor from 4chan, which is pretty interesting. It's a pretty short one. Then we're going to talk about Diamond and Pearl hints, and then finally we're going to talk about the anime. So let's get started. So first is this rumor that showed up on 4chan actually earlier today and was posted by Anonymous, and it was called Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC leak. It included an image which I will show on screen here. It was kind of upside down. I'll turn it around for you guys so you can see what it looks like. But basically what it says here is Pokemon DLC Part 1, the Isle of Armor leak. New Galarian Shroomish form. He gets a new evolution that is a ugly garden gnome. And I'm not really sure if that's what you see on the image, but if you look at the image, it's pretty much a Shroomish that's got these weird bulbs on it, which look pretty disgusting, if I'm going to be honest with you. But basically that's what it looks like. Next up, new Galarian Shroomish form. Alright, so there also is a Galarian form Slowbro, and it has more purplish shell, but it is stuck on its arm, and that makes him look like he has a drill arm with a lot of barbs on it. It will be a psychic poison type. I haven't seen more than that. So that is simply the rumor. If we look at the image right here, if we just turn it around, you guys can take a look at it. As you may see, it says Shroomish mushroom Pokemon type grass poison, which is interesting. And then you can see its weight, height, number battled, and it says Galarian form. This Pokemon protects itself by poisoning its predators and causing them to feel very dizzy, so it has a chance to escape. So again, I don't know if this is true. Its number in the Pokedex is 59, which I'm not sure if that makes any sense considering we already should have a Pokemon at that spot in the Pokedex, unless they rearrange it for the DLC, which wouldn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, maybe that's the case, but again, I don't really know. But that is the first rumor that you guys have right here. I don't know, what do you guys think about it? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's go to the next one. So next up is, of course, the tweet from the Pokemon Company. They tweeted earlier last night, or sorry, not earlier, but last night they tweeted specifically this tweet saying, confirmed North American trainers first visited the Sinnoh region when Pokemon Diamond and Pearl released on this day in 2007. Did you prefer to test your Pokemon's strength in the Battle Tower or their cuteness in the Pokemon Super Contest? No shame in doing both. So first things first here, you might be like, okay, well, whatever, it's just a tweet, right? It doesn't mean much. Well, here's the thing. Usually Pokemon remakes are announced around May and late April. That's usually when Pokemon remakes are announced. And I'm not saying that means we're going to get a remake announced for this year, but there is going to be some information, more information coming in June most likely about Pokemon. We might get one of those generic announcements from the Pokemon Company telling us, hey, guess what? You're going to get some sort of thing happening next year. You're going to get a new Switch title next year for Pokemon, maybe something like that. I guess it all depends on how well the DLC does, but who knows what their actual plans are. They probably already have the Diamond and Pearl remakes pretty much in the pipeline being finished up and made, right? So like, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case here, and they're maybe trying to hint at it, because here's a fact that people still, till this day, doubt, but here's a fact for all of you guys. Pokemon, as well as Game Freak, as well as Masuda and all the people that work at Game Freak, they love to hint at the next Pokemon game. They love to do that. There's already hints in Pokemon Sword and Shield for Diamond and Pearl remakes. There's hints in those games for the next games, right? They always do that. It's a very common thing. They also hint all the time through their tweets. They always hint stuff consistently, constantly, all the time. There's some sort of hints coming through there, so keep that in mind. There's always something that could be kind of discerned and learned from what you see from their tweets, so please keep that in mind. It's something people really overlook. Either way, so that's that. What's the final thing? Well, it turns out that the Pokemon Company actually has moved now the Pokemon anime away from Disney XD in the United States. If you guys know, those of you who watch Pokemon, the animated series, or the Pokemon anime, right, in the dubbed version of it on US television, you know that it's on Disney XD, but now it's been moved. They actually expired their license, and now it's going to be on Netflix. So Netflix actually picked up the license for Pokemon, which is really interesting to me that they did that. But basically, for those of you in the United States, this is specifically for the United States, Netflix, but you can also VPN your way there. But either way, so those of you there will be able to watch Pokemon, and it's called Pokemon Journeys now, by the way. This is the English name of the new Pokemon 2019 anime. It's called Pokemon Journeys, and basically it follows the journey you've already seen, so it's pretty straightforward. It's simply just the dubbed version of the anime you've already been watching if you've kind of been on one of those sketchy, anime websites. So that was all the main information, and that's all the info for those of you basically who don't want to sit here for ages. That was the main info. Now let's talk about this information one by one. So first things first, let's talk about the Shroomish and stuff. So I'm gonna be honest with you, the Shroomish stuff is really confusing because the actual image looks pretty legitimate, but then again, we had a fake leak the other day of like a Galarian Dustox. We had a fake one of that, so it isn't that difficult for these people to fake this. Like, it genuinely isn't that hard. We've seen people literally fake the sprites, they faked the 3D model, they faked all of it, so it isn't that out of the possibility or the realm of possibility that this is fake as well. But also at the same time, it looks pretty legitimate and pretty good. But then again, I'm not a big fan of the actual design though. I don't like the whole bulbs on it. Like, it just looks kind of disgusting. If I'm gonna be honest with you, it doesn't look that good. I like the white color on like the actual thingy and like the purple on its body, but I don't think those bulbs need to be there. They just look disgusting. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, they just don't look good, which is why I think those could be like definitely removed. But other than that though, it looks like a pretty interesting like, you know, thingamajiggy. And then again, like the actual person who posted it, calling it like a ugly garden gnome is really interesting. Saying that Galarian Shroomish, he gets a new evolution that is an ugly garden gnome. That's kind of intriguing. So I guess it would be similar to how we have certain other Pokemon that like get like, you know, new separate evolutions, basically, like something like that, I guess is what the case is here. So I'm really intrigued to see what that's going to be like and what that turns out like. So that's that. Next though is the Diamond and Pokemon Diamond and Pearl confirmed tweet. Now again, it's just a tweet. It's simply just them maybe messing with people intentionally. It's something Game Freak and the Pokemon Company tend to do. They love to mess with people, but at the same time, they clearly know we want Diamond and Pearl remakes, and they clearly are working on these things. Like, they've left hints inside of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I've already mentioned this before, but there's this Krogunk statue in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, which you can find, and I think it's in the player's bedroom. In the player's bedroom, you can find this kind of like Krogunk statue, and that Krogunk statue is from Pokemon Platinum. It can be found in the Pokemart right next to one of the shop clerks, right? You can actually, Pokemon clerks, you can actually find one of those statues, which is a clear hint right there to Diamond and Pearl remakes. This was a similar thing they did in Pokemon Sun and Moon, as well as Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. They actually left the map of Galar in those games, hinting towards Galar. So again, the point I'm trying to make is, it's a very common thing for them to do this. It's not out of the ordinary is what I'm trying to say. It's like pretty common, pretty normal practice, because they like to do this to hype people up, right? Like, leaving little hints makes the community stay active, right? And that's what they want to do. They want to keep you constantly coming back to Pokemon and constantly being involved in the community, constantly being involved with what's the new stuff is, and involved with what's happening, what's coming our way, etc. Like, they want you to always stay on top of Pokemon, which is why they keep putting out this sort of things, these sort of hints in their tweets, in their games, whatever it may be. They keep giving us little hints to keep us interested. And honestly, let's be frank, guys, Diamond and Pearl remakes are gonna happen. I've seen some people say like, oh, it's unlikely they'll ever happen and blah, 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 blah. Keep in mind, Game Freak likes making remakes because it is less effort, like in general. Like, this is just a common sense type of thing, but it's just like simply less effort to make a remake than to make a brand new generation game each time. It simply is just an easier job. And also, you don't have to do the extra plot, you don't have to make a brand new story or any of that. It's already there. And also, there's no obligation for them to include all the Pokemon in a remake, so it's much easier for them to simply put out this game without all the Pokemon and just the Pokemon that were there in Platinum, right? Like, basically that's the amount of Pokemon they put out there, and guess what? They can give us another incentive to go and buy Pokemon Home, right? It's just another reason to go and buy that then, to send Pokemon over and etc. So my point is, there's no reason for them to avoid this. It is simply a business-wise, stupidly good decision to keep hinting these things and keeping people coming back, and making Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes is just a logical choice and a logical, like, furthering of their goals, right? It just makes sense. Then next up, of course, is the anime. So I'm really interested to see that the Disney company, like the Disney actually dropped Pokemon. It's really intriguing considering like the Pokemon is still big, and I think the newest anime is actually one of the highest like performing anime seasons out of Pokemon in a long time. I think since X and Y they haven't like been getting this hype and people being this involved with it. There's a whole hashtag, you know, AniPoke, like, you know, thing on Twitter that's happening right now, people supporting the animators since they can't put out new episodes due to everything happening in the world, etc. Like, you know, there's a lot of support for the anime right now, and people loving it. Like, people are really enjoying it with, you know, Ash and Go and their little journeys and stuff. Like, it makes sense to, you know, keep this around. I don't know why Disney dropped it. Maybe it's a problem with funds. Maybe it just isn't worth it to them. Maybe they can't afford it right now. Maybe the license could be too expensive. Who knows? But whatever it is, though, Netflix did pick it up, which I'm really intrigued by. I do hope it comes to the European part of the world as well. Like, I want to see it on Netflix, like Nordic, you know, like I'd love to see it here. Honestly, it would be really cool. But I do know here, though, in Sweden, that like TV4 specifically holds a license, so maybe they don't want to give that away to Netflix. So who knows? But either way, though, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy it, drop a like down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and bye bye, ladies and gentlemen.